What up? What up? What up? And thank you for tuning in to the Skol State of Mind podcast. It's much appreciated. Look, oh shit, got some other stuff going on. All right, so peep game though, right? It's been a lot of talk, through social media whatsoever, about what's going on with the Minnesota Vikings. What should they do? Blah blah blah. Right. So look, I've been on there like giving my case about what should happen, X, Y, and Z. So I just thought it was best that I would just come on here and be able to talk to you guys and let you guys know like my true feelings on how I really feel, what's really going on, right? So we're gonna get the show started. You already know we're gonna talk about JJ McCarthy. Now look, it's really weird to me though, right? That there's a lot of people out there in this fan base that already are ready to move on basically from JJ McCarthy. You feel me? Like, just feel like McCarthy is basically, a bust. There's no need of giving it a little bit more time. Like, that's cool. But I'm gonna ask y'all this question though, right? So you willing to move on from McCarthy and he's only played 6 games, right? But you want to go out there and look for a veteran quarterback that another team has decided is not good enough to be their franchise quarterback. Isn't that kind of like the same scenario? Doesn't that put us right back in the same situation that the Vikings have been in for, the past 10 plus years, where they basically have a revolving door of veteran quarterbacks? Now, mind you, this, like, I understand, like, I do, like, I understand that McCarthy is not playing up to expectations, or, he's just not good right now. He's continuing to struggle, and sometimes it looks like there's no way that he's going to actually get better. But I say this though, you have to be patient in this thing though, right? Like, you can't just always expect that you draft a quarterback, you get him on the team, and he's just gonna pop up and be the next, budding superstar. But what I can say is this though, it's like, I don't want to get on this, this platform and continue to like point fingers and basically point blame. But it just goes to show you, like, there wasn't a lot of things done during this offseason to get McCarthy ready to go. Like, I just look at it like, especially with all the different press conferences and Kevin O'Connell basically saying like he's about to start dialing things back, and all these other things. Like, I just look at it from a point of view, like, and ask the question, what was being done, during the playoffs? I mean, not the playoffs. What was being done during the offseason? Like McCarthy was, I would say, healthy enough to kind of get things going, in like late December, because you saw him, on the sidelines, you saw him, ramping up, getting back or whatever. But as of right now, it makes you think like, what was this team actually doing during the offseason? Did they just give him a playbook and say figure it out? And there's a lot of reports out there, speculating that the Vikings basically did nothing with him. So he had the playbook and he came in there and they was going, and that was it. And that's the problem that I'm having. It's like, I would say like the expectations going into the season were like super duper high, but this is what happens when you don't prepare, for the inevitable, when you don't prepare for, you know, things that can go wrong. So yeah, I just think that it's it's far fetched, man. It's far fetched to basically give up, on McCarthy right now. And on that note, like, let me drop the link, man, because I know just in case some people want to come in here and say something or whatever, like, I'll just drop it right now, because it's always a a good thing when you get people to come in here and say something, so, and give their opinion. But it's cool though. It's cool. So yeah, we're gonna keep it moving. But let's just talk about Kevin O'Connell for a little bit, right? Like, I don't know if you guys saw the press conference with Kevin O'Connell, and he was basically talking about how, wait, okay, what is going on with this? Okay, there we go. So about Kevin O'Connell, basically how, like, they're gonna dumb the offense down and they're gonna simplify some things. And I think some people out there have gotten this issue that McCarthy is going to have like this super dumbed down, you know, offense. And that's not the case, right? So when I'm saying like dumbed down offense, this is what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about there won't be a lot of those checks at the line. There won't be those motion across two players motioning or the double moves, like all the extra icing that Kevin O'Connell pretty much puts on this offense. That's what he's kind of like going away from and giving McCarthy just, the opportunity to win down the field and for other players to basically win their one-on-one, reps. And I think people got it misconstrued or saying like, "Oh, McCarthy can't run the offense. They got to dumb it down completely." Like, nah, it's not going to be a vanilla offense. Offense is still going to be ran, with similar structure. They're just not going to have all the extra stuff because maybe all the extra stuff is what's leading to McCarthy, playing so poorly because he has to figure a lot of other things out. And that's the thing that goes back, to what I was saying earlier about, giving a young quarterback this whole playbook and exhibit. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, man. That's just hilarious. But yeah, so it's just like giving McCarthy that playbook and without, you know, foreseeing the future. You get what I'm saying? Because that's not what you normally do, when it comes to like young quarterbacks in the league. You kind of want to start off with something small and then you want to like build up from it. What up? What up? What up, Rap? What up, bro? What up, man? What up, man? What up? People got jokes. But look though, let's get back to the topic. Yeah, that's just basically how I looked at it. Like I felt like he was given too much of the playbook at one time, and the expectations that Kevin O'Connell set it was semi unfair because you have to understand like even though that he'd been on the team since last season, he technically didn't play, and the things are really different when it comes to the point of hey, I know the playbook. Hey, I know the check at the line. I know this or whatever it's different when you have to like run that playbook in real time. And I kind of felt like it was malpractice because it's like you shouldn't have started slow to begin with. And then when you saw that he was able to, you know, accomplish what you needed in that time, and he was able to run the offense efficiently when the playbook was kind of small or vanilla, whatever, or dumbed down. Then you could have kept building on that, and then when you build upon that, you basically were building his confidence. And I kind of feel like that situation was missed, and that kind of makes me a little bit, you know, I wouldn't say upset, but it makes me look at Kevin O'Connell a lot different because like he had to understand like this is not a 7-year vet coming in here. You can't just throw him out there and expect that he's going to play like Sam Darnold or Kirk Cousins, and that's kind of unfair. And that's just why I'm like really standing with my beliefs that I do not believe that McCarthy's a bust. I think it's just going to take some time. Like this is technically year one, and if you look at it as yeah, he shouldn't have played last year, you have to throw that year away because he did not play, and with him not playing, that basically means this is year one. So you know that's that, when it comes to that. But I do feel like this though, right? Like we give a lot of blame to Kevin O'Connell because he is the head coach, but we need to start delegating some of that blame too because some of these position coaches, coordinators and stuff like that, like I think they have dropped the ball on McCarthy too. And I just feel like this off season, you are going to see what's going to happen with this coaching staff. Like, I'm not saying, like, oh, this person should be fired, but hey, it's kind of looking that way, man. Like, it is what it is, man. Like when you fall this short from expectations, what do you want it to be? You feel me? Like it's ridiculous. You feel me? Like it's not good. So I'm gonna dive into that real quick though too, because it's like, my last video I dropped and I basically was talking about, who's pulling the strings for the Minnesota Vikings behind the scenes. Did Kevin O'Connell get more say so with the organization? And I just kind of want to follow up with this video and basically break it down on what I feel what the Vikings should do going forward. All right, look. So we don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of games. Are the Vikings going to win out? Are they going to lose out? They're going to go 500. Like we we really don't know. What's up, Lefty? What's up, Lefty? Like, we really don't know. But thing I'm gonna go back to is this though, right? Like this season, in my opinion, has failed expectations. I think it failed expectation with the fans. It failed expectation with the organization. So I feel like some things have to be done to like rectify the situation. Sometimes you got to pull the band-aid off and maybe get rid of everybody and just start from scratch. But there's certain ways that you have to go by in doing that, right? So you got some people out there that actually want to just get rid of Quasi. That's fine. You got some people that want to give up Kevin O'Connell. That's fine. And then you got some people that kind of want to keep these guys in place, but kind of like change their roles or change the people around them. So I'll start with Kevin O'Connell. And if you keep O'Connell and you say, hey, he have to give up play calling and you give him so many stipulations to actually keep going forward, it makes me feel like, why would he even be here? You get what I'm saying? Like, why would he even be here if he has to have so many stipulations to be here? And if you get rid of Quasi and you hire another GM, what is to say that that GM does not like what Kevin O'Connell is doing, with the locker room and want, bringing his guy? Like, you would basically put Kevin O'Connell in a lame duck situation. So this is what I would do. I know I'm not the owner of the Vikings. I know I don't have say so. This is just a fan point of view. But this is what I would do. Two scenarios, right? So this is my two scenarios. I'm on my left and my right, right? So on my left, my scenario basically is this: blow the whole thing up, start from scratch, right? I look at it like this: if the Vikings end up losing this week against the Commanders, Monday, fire Quasi, and basically get your GM search started early. You get what I'm saying? Because you're gonna need this guy in for the draft. He's gonna need his own vision, and I know he's gonna have to keep Quasi's scouting team and everybody like that on staff. But it is what it is. Or you just fire Grigson, but somebody has to go if they lose this week. And then, you fire Kevin O'Connell at the end of the season. Now, you'll be going into the offseason looking for a new GM and looking for a new coach. Hopefully, by getting with a Quasi earlier, you can get in there, find a good GM, and you can get things rolling. This is just me hypothetically speaking. I'm not saying this has happened. I'm not saying I want this to happen. I'm just saying like these are the two scenarios that I feel like the Vikings will have to do. All right. So that's just one. And I don't necessarily have any GM names out there. I have one, Adrian Wilson. I mean, I think he's been a guy, in a lot of front offices. He's been in the background, like especially he was a great player back in the day with the Cardinals. But that's who you bring in. And as a coaching, like it's not a name for me. It's more of so like a scheme or a philosophy for a coach to come in, right? So you got to get somebody who either has the experience in developing young quarterbacks. That's what you're gonna have to do. Like, you can't bring in anybody who doesn't want to develop McCarthy, because I feel like when we talk about McCarthy, it's easy for us to be like, oh, give up on him, get another veteran quarterback, and everything is going. But I ask the question of this: if you do decide to get rid of to move on from McCarthy, like either you trade him because you can't just sit him there, right? Like, you're gonna have to turn into a Josh Rosen situation. And I think that's kind of dumb because you put those eggs in one basket, and the Vikings really don't have a lot of money, to go out there and pay 30 plus million for a veteran quarterback, for a couple of years. Like, that wasn't the plan. So I think that idea doesn't make any sense to me. All right. So now the other scenario is this: you keep Quasi and you keep Kevin O'Connell, but you change the situations behind them. What's up, man? What up, man? How you doing? What up, man? How you doing? What's good, man? Hey, I dropped the link, man. So I know you wanted to come on one of these days. So let me drop it again for you. You you can see it on your phone if you want to get on or not. You ain't even got to be on screen, man. You can just you know mute your screen and sit back and it just be the audio. But But there's a link for you right there if you want to jump on or not. What up, Lefty? So now to get back what I was saying too, it's kind of like, all right, look, if you do that, you keep them, you basically change the things around them. And what I mean by changing things around them, you you have to have Kevin O'Connell give up the play calling, and you bring in an offensive coordinator that can do that for him. That will allow Kevin O'Connell to basically, you know, be more of a CEO to the team. You get what I'm saying? Like, in my opinion, I feel like um Brian Flores is basically gone. He's going in the offseason. So you're gonna have to bring in a DC. I'm not sure if he takes everybody, on his defensive staff with him, but I don't think he's gonna be back. So you're gonna have to figure out some coaching positions. I think the only guy that's pretty much safe on this coaching staff, in my opinion, is Keenan McCardell, because he does great with the receivers. So Kevin O'Connell will have to revamp his whole coaching staff. That's how he stays. Then on Kwesi's side, I think you have to figure out what's going on with him, with these draft picks, and maybe you need to bring somebody in that's a better football mind outside of Grigson. That's how you fix the situation. But I'm not saying this is something that they should do. Not something that I would want to do, but this is something that I can see, like, playing out within that situation. But it is what it is. Let me text Terrence and see, DM him and see if he want to jump on or not, because he was hitting me up the other day and was asking to come on. So let me see where he at. Let me see where he at. Go on this X. Yeah, man. It's been wild on X, man. It's been wild on X, man. I got people coming at me, for for my opinion. I got some cats who say, like, hey, my feelings or some shit. It's like, hey, whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. You know. Okay, okay, okay. So yeah, let me just keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. What else I got for y'all right now? Change all this shit. Yeah, so that's basically, the off-season approach, of what I think, that they can do going forward. All right, look, this what you do. Hey, I'm gonna send you the link on your X. All right, hold on real quick. I'm gonna walk you through it. What up, man? I'm gonna walk you through it. All right, look, I just sent you the link on X, and all you gotta do is basically hit that link, and it should basically tell you, well, how to jump on and everything, man. What up, man? What up, man? Yeah, I know it's early for this live. I just got a couple of things to do today, and I wanted to jump in, talk real quick, and you know get back to what else is going on. You feel me? So let's see what Terrence get on here. He said he having a hard time. Let's see what he does. Let's see what he does. Let's see what he does. Yeah. So all you do, Terrence, is you just hit the link, and it'll take you to the website or whatever, and it's gonna ask you for for whatever you got, like your audio, shit like that, and then you should be straight. You should be straight. Okay. So we got somebody in here. We got them in here. Boom. Okay, there you go, man. There you go, man. What's good, bro? How you doing, man? Yeah, your audio. You gotta turn your let me turn your mic on. Yeah. Oh, he left. He left. He was straight, but your audio. Hey, come back in. Yeah, come back in. Yeah, you're gonna have to come back in because your audio was bad. Was bad. So I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna knock you off. So just try it again. But Yeah, I'm trying to get him in here. Try again, just jump on again, but make sure you turn your mic on because your mic wasn't on. Yeah, Lefty, he made it, but he couldn't stay on for too long. Couldn't stay on for too long. So hey, anybody else is in the chat? It ain't too many people in here, but hey, it is what it is. I'm just getting started with this live situation. It's all new to me. I normally just drop my video. There you go. There you go. All right. So, can you hear me? All right. Your mic is muted. Let me see if I can do it from here. Yeah, he having a hard time with his mic. Yeah, he having a hard time with his mic. Yeah, you gotta. Yo, Terrence, it's a button underneath like the little thing that has the mic. If you tap that button, you can turn your mic on and off. There you go. There you go. So let's see if he gets on. Let's see if he gets on. Let's see if he gets on. Yep. But I'm gonna just keep it moving though. I'm just trying to do some stuff that's different. Drop some more lives here and there. It's just talk my talk a little bit more. Let's see what happens. But I do got a question. That somebody had left in the comments, and let's bring it up right now. It says, I agree with most of what you said. This is about the video where I talked about Kevin O'Connell getting more say so with the team and actually, you know, um, you know, that triangle of leadership or whatever. So the question is, with all the injuries this year and the inexperience at quarterback position, I don't think that our record would have been any good anyway. Um, I think the record could have been better. So we only have 4 wins as of right now. And when it's talking about the offensive line, I'm not really like so big on saying like it's the offensive line's fault a lot of the times because I do believe that Kevin O'Connell's play calling affects the offensive line tremendously. But injuries happen. So with the injuries happening, you know, it's hard to say like what this offensive line would be. But if you just look at it in general and think about what I talked about, in previous videos about the development of this roster, it's like the Vikings really have no real backups, on their squad. They have no real development of guys that can step in, and in roles of other people get hurt. Like look at the offensive line. Like I would say the only bright spot this season, with backups or guys who are reserves is basically like Blake Brandell. Blake Brandell's been playing every position on his offensive line, which was just dope. But at the same time, it's like that's good, but why don't you have anybody else that can help? So in the second question is who in the organization putting out the message that we are 1 year, Super Bowl or bust. Now, I think that was more so like, you know, Vikings media, your purple dailies and people like that are basically putting out that rhetoric about the Vikings being a Super Bowl contender this year because they look at the roster and they look at like the veterans on the roster and they look at the stars and they're like, oh man, these guys are back. Like they can keep going. Oh, JJ McCarthy is going to hit the ground running. And you got to understand though too, is like, you got the Vikings organization, either it's Kevin O'Connell or it's Quasey that's putting out this, propaganda that JJ was going to be ready. He was going to hit the ground running and we wasn't going to lose anything with Sam Darnold, but that wasn't the case. So I think that kind of got a lot of, people, feeling bad about the season because it kind of fell short of expectations. And I just feel like we got to stop letting the Vikings, media do that to us for real. So there you go. Answer the question, man. Answer the question. Let's see what the comments look like. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Lefty, you got it completely right, though. You got it completely right. Like, assuming McCarthy with zero practice reps last year was going to jump in and just throw darts. Yeah, you got it right. And like, yeah, Purple Daily is a joke, bro. Like, I listen to them for entertainment purposes. Some stuff they have insight on, but you got to really take what they say with a grain of salt, man. It's crazy because it's like they having to dial back a lot of things that they're said, during the off season or during the season because they were completely wrong about it. And it's it's weird, man. Like it's really weird. Like they were talking the whole off season about JJ McCarthy was, he was a can't miss prospect, and he was gonna come in here and do this, he was gonna come in here and do that. Okay. All right. I don't know why you were blocked by the user. All right, let me try it again, man. I don't know why I said you were blocked by the user. Let me let me send a link to you again because I didn't block you. I did not block you. So let me send it again. Because I can see it when you pop up. Just when you pop up, I'm gonna just wait until you get everything together to bring you on stage. Yeah, Lefty. People are always like, well, Mahomes said like, yeah, hey, Lefty. It's talk out there that's basically talking about how he didn't really even do the VR headset that much. Like, if you really look at it from a different lens, it basically shows that it was young quarterback malpractice. They shouldn't have been working on a lot of things with McCarthy during this offseason, but they didn't. All they did was basically give him the playbook. Like there's really no excuse of why McCarthy is looking like this. And I just feel like, hey, you might get that do-over next year. And I'm just calling Kevin O'Connell out for this, man. Like, because you're the head coach. You shouldn't have made sure that McCarthy was ready to go. Like what was all this talk during training camp? Like, you wait till week 3 to start talking about mechanics. Like, come on, man. It don't work like that. It does not work like that. So let me see something real quick. Yeah, I got no band guest. I think it probably said, he got kicked out because I had to get it off the screen because we couldn't hear him. So see if he comes back in. It is what it is though. Is what it is though. For real. But yeah, if Terrence don't get in here, I'm probably gonna end this live, man. If I hit the gym a little bit, you know, get that workout on real quick. Let me just see what's going on with Terrence. Hey, and if you follow me on X, man, I'll let you guys know from the jump. Like, if you want to debate and you want to have some kind of opinion, I'm way more than open to you coming on the channel. We can talk about it. I just don't do the people, in the comments getting extremely personal and talking shit. And then when you tell them like, yo, you want to come on the channel and we can talk about the situation, never happens. I won't say never because I had a few people that did. It rarely happens. Let me correct myself and say it rarely happens. For real. But there you go. There you go. All right. I see you on here now. I see you. Can you hear me? You can hear me? All right. Let me see if I can hear you. Because it still says your mic muted. Yeah, it still says your mic is muted. I can't. I'm trying to unmute the mic. Oh, it says you don't have a mic connected. Yeah, that's what it's doing because I'm trying to fix it on my end. And it says can't unmute guests. Their mic isn't connected. So you have to like, if you are you using your phone? All right, using your phone. So you're gonna have to allow StreamYard access to your mic on your phone. That's what it's doing. Yeah. So you gotta change the setting. Yep. You right, Lefty. You gotta change the setting on your phone to allow the mic. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for you. I'm not gonna yeah. Yep. What up, Lefty? What other questions you got, man? See. Let's see if he can fix it, because I still got him connected. Still got him connected. See what happens. Yeah, hey, that's my scenarios, man. Like, that's just how I look at it, man. Like, what I think is actually going to happen, my honest opinion, Lefty, I think everybody gone. I think the Wilsons is gonna blow this up. And why I say that is because the embarrassment, man. Like I don't know if it was Quasi, I don't know if it was Kevin O'Connell, but they were talking about this season was gonna be, a great season. And I'm always gonna look at the history lesson you get from this, because Kevin O'Connell is basically gonna miss the playoffs for the second, you know, for another year. And he's been making the playoffs every other year. It's the same thing you had with Zimmer. And I just believe it like this, though, right? Like the whole JJ McCarthy situation to me has been done piss poor, right? And I feel like Kevin O'Connell now, he's trying to save face to the point of where he wants to like change the offense and he wants to make it a little bit easier for McCarthy. This is something he shouldn't have been done at the beginning of the season. And I feel like maybe somebody has talked to him and told him he needs to do X, Y, and Z. And I feel with Quasi's situation is, is a little bit, bad for him, because he's going to be the first fall guy. So I think they might be moving on both spots. That's just how I look at it. Either I don't think it's going to be like a situation to where Quasi's gone or Kevin's gone. I will be surprised if one stays and the other goes. But I think it's either going to be they both going to be gone next season, or they're going to change the people around them, or they're going to run it back. That's just how I look at it. But I would prefer, especially if the Vikings win, if the Vikings season ends up being 4-13, blow it up completely. Blow it up completely. That's how I would look at it, man. For real. Like that's embarrassing. That's utterly embarrassing. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah. He having some technical difficulties. Me neither, Lefty. Me neither. I don't see him winning another game. Hey, you know what's crazy about this game right now? Jaden just all of a sudden, boom, he's back. I know he went his window, was opening, but now he's gonna be back. So it's it ain't looking good, man. 4-13. 4-13, man. 4-13. Like we basically in draft season right now. That's what we talking about now, draft season. Shit. I should do a mock draft right now. You feel me, Lefty? What you think, Lefty? What you think? I can bring one up real quick, man. I can bring one up real quick. Let me see. Let me see. Let's start playing with it. I'm a yeah. Let me see which one I'm gonna use real quick. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna bring the mock draft simulator up in a second. I'm trying to remember what's the one I liked. It wasn't PFF. PFF be limiting you too much on what you can do. Let me go back. Let me see. The mock draft simulator, man. What was the other one? Hey, I like that. I like that. I like that, man. I like that. Hey, for real. For real. I do personally think he's going to play well. I do think he's going to play well because all the extra stuff should be out the door, and he should be cool from there. So, hey, Lefty, let me know. Should I do the mock draft simulator? That's true. Like, we could get a good draft pick. That's what I want. I don't know what y'all want, but I want the running back. That's who I want. I want the running back. Let me see if I can. Let me share the screen real quick. Let me get this up out of here. Get that up out of here. Screen share. Boom. There we go. Hey, y'all know it's the off season, man. Yep, Notre Dame running back. You already know. Boom. Let's get it started. It's a lot of stuff going on here too, though. I don't know. Let me see if it's gonna let me into the draft. Okay, so there we go. That's who went first. So we got the 11. We have 14 pick. Oh, they ain't even picked them. So we hit the start button right there. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Mock draft season already. Boom. Draft is started. Where the selection is at? Oh, they right there. Okay, cool. They right there. Let's see. All right. So we on the clock, y'all. Look, we got a trade already for the Rams. Hell no. We rejecting that trade. We rejecting that trade too. They giving us a third? Ooh. They trying to move up. Reject that trade too. All right. So here we got. Look, okay. Man. Hey, look though. They both there, man. They both there. You got Caleb Downs and you got Jeremiah Love. Look, what? Hey, I want the running back, but at the like Caleb Downs can help the secondary so much. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going Downs, man. That's who we drafting. We drafting Caleb Downs, man. There we go. So we got Caleb Downs in the first round. Okay. I'm gonna have to get another draft simulator, man, because this one is kind of whack. There we go. Yeah, I wish it would like bring up the players on the side so we can see who's actually drafted, but it's doing it, but it's just saying it like right there. Yeah, I took Downs, man. Like I wanted the running back, but hey, the squad needs some secondary players, man, for real. We need some secondary players. So, hey, maybe he can be the next Harrison Smith. But we in the second round right now, still moving. Still moving. Okay, here we go. Our pick is coming up. All right, so we got another trade. We got, damn, they want to trade up 2 spots and give us they fourth, a fourth and a fourth. Man, I'm taking that one. It's only 2 spots. It's only 2 spots. Let's take that one. Accept that one. Boom. They pick. Boom. So we got some extra picks and we ain't trading down no more, man. Reject that. We got the 50. They got the 55. Let me see who's available though. We get all these picks 55. Come on, man. That's what we need. That's the kind of stuff we need. Hey, you right, lefty, avoid them, right? All right, that's what we need. I don't know, man. Buffalo one is we'll have like 3 third-round picks, man. I don't know. Let me see who's available right now. Let me see who's available right now. So we got a linebacker, D lineman, because I'm not really familiar right now with with the college right now. I got to start diving a little deep, man. But I'm just gonna be drafting on positions of value. You feel me? Like where we would need to go to get things going. Linebacker is. Hey, I think we need to get young there in the linebacker core. What y'all think? Should we take the linebacker? Who should we take, man? Let me know. I might want to take the linebacker. D line, I don't think we need no D line like that. All right, let me see. I'm taking the linebacker at number 35. Fuck it. So we got a minute. We got a minute before we get to the next one. All right, they still drafting in the second. I shouldn't have put this on fast, man. Okay, okay. Well, right now it's all defense for us. We got Caleb Downs and a linebacker, man. I think this is taking a minute. Okay, now we up. Now we up. Okay, they want to. No, we're gonna reject that. We don't want to make no more trades. We're gonna reject that too. That's yeah. Hey, yeah, linebacker. All right. So right now, ooh, offensive tackle. I think we need to really look at offensive tackle. Considering Darius always hurt and Brian O'Neill's getting older. Let's see who they got at running back in the third round. They got the other running back from for Notre Dame. We do need a tight end, but I think let me see. Let me see what else we might need to see if we got a corner. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I want to take a running back, man. I want to take a running back. What y'all think about the running back from Washington? What y'all think about this guy? What y'all think? Or this guy? Let me know. Or should we wait for running back? Again, or we gonna take a tight end? Like, what? Let me know what y'all think. Because man, you got this this offensive tackle right here. I'm going offensive tackle. I'm going offensive tackle because I'm finna try to get off of here real quick. Let's go. And okay, he said wait on that. Okay, so now we back up. We back up. We back up. We ain't gonna do no more trades. We back up. So right now, you got a safety. These are the top rated players. Safety, a corner, a wide receiver, another offensive tackle. Do we take the running back here, or what should we take here? Trenches. Yeah, I already took a tackle. I took a tackle already. I mean, let's go corner, man. Let's go corner. Let's go Chris Johnson corner. Let's go corner. Let's go corner. Man, this website got a lot of ads, man. Yeah, I think Terrence is up now. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good now. You good now, man. You good now. There you go. There you go. I'm just
Yeah, I had to switch devices, bro. I have to get on my iPad and do it now. So
okay. Yeah, I'm just doing a mock draft real quick. We we can stop it because I know you have some things you want to say. Hey, we're gonna get
oh
back to
no,
the
you
mic.
good, bro. You good. I can just chime in on you.
Yeah, because the mock draft, I'm not really familiar with the players as of right now. I'm just drafting for positional need. Hey, all right, look, we got the running back from Washington. We just gonna draft him. Just gonna draft him.
I would have took the running back and go to Dame if I were you.
Yeah, I took the safety first. I took the safety first.
I think we good on safety. Running back, we could be just running back is a whole different thing on the running back though.
Yeah, I mean, with the season being bad now, I'm gonna get familiar with these players. Oh, so we got another pick again. Oh, it's just this thing just going slow. Like, man, this mock draft terrible, man. I ain't really feeling it like that. All right, so I'm gonna just go here, move this one out the way. Where is it at? Yeah, see, it's bringing up all these pop-ups. I mean, I know PFF ain't the best place, but still. Let me drop this off. Boom, there we go. All right, man. So bring everything back up. All right, man. Welcome to the show. And I know you wanted to get on before, but you had some things, we was going back and forth from, on Twitter for a little bit, and you had some things you wanted to say. Like, now's the opportunity, man, where you can get up there and say what you got to say, man.
I'm disappointed like everybody else. We had high expectations coming into this year. I feel that we should have kept Donald by any means necessary. JJ he had potential coming out, and just like we talked about before, you can't do nothing with a bad offensive line. I agree with you as far as them saying that they revamped the offensive line, but remember coming into this season, they all came in this season all hurt.
Yeah,
and they still haven't recovered from it. So it's
yeah.
like
I think you
they
got
still
it playing in the background because we getting the echo in the background.
You hear the echo in the background?
Yeah, like I think you got it playing on something else because we hear the other part playing. There you go.
Like, can you hear
There
me
you
now?
go. Yeah, good.
Okay. Yeah, I had you still on the phone, so
Okay. Yeah, I get that, man. I just feel like this though, man. Like when you really like break it down and you really start looking at like the optics of stuff that's like really going on, I just feel like this coaching staff kind of like failed McCarthy, to a certain extent. Like I'm not saying like McCarthy, was the best quarterback coming out in that prospective draft. He wasn't, and I think one of the reasons why he came out too because he saw Harbaugh going to NFL and he was like, well, I'm not going to stay here another year. I might as well see where I'm going to get drafted. But I just feel like, man, like the expectations that we were being sold, early in the offseason, man, it was like this team was going to be hit the ground running. It was going to be another 14-win season, if not 12. And
I don't think it's going to be a 14-win season because our schedule was tough.
yeah,
We was tied for the fourth toughest schedule coming into the league this year. So
yeah.
it's like we had a tough matchups going into the season. So with that being in mind, with a bad offensive line, we can't do anything as far as just hope for the best.
So do you think the offensive line is bad, or do you think that it's play calling that makes the offensive line look bad?
Both.
Both? Okay.
I say both because the fact that I think the offensive line was bad, part from injuries and them not having the right personnel to back them up as far as putting people in the right spot.
Right.
So
I agree with that.
Right. So it's like if you don't have the right personnel to back up your starters, if you're not getting them ready, that falls on the coaching staff.
Yep.
As far as when I say coaching staff, I mean the offensive line coach.
Yeah, offensive line. Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure you play football just like I did. So everybody got their position coach that they work with, and it has their own duty to get their positions ready.
Right.
So if the offensive line coach is not getting them ready, you have a matchups coming in every week. So
Yep.
you have game plans for your offensive line to say, hey, you need to block this person, have this assignment, that, blah blah blah.
Hmm.
But if they don't do that assignment, this falls on who? The coaches that actually got them ready, right?
Right. Right. I just feel like, you know, when the other aspect of it too, with Kevin O'Connell's play structure, with the long development plays down the field, it's kind of like he asks too much of his offensive lineman to block so long. And if you can look at what Ed Ingram is doing, you know, with the Texans, or Garrett Bradbury, what he's doing with the New England Patriots, and even Ezra Cleveland, once we traded him away to Jacksonville. I'm not saying these guys are like perennial Pro Bowl players. Maybe Ed Ingram this year because he's only gave up one sack, but you can kind of see, like, when you have an offense that can, do some kind of quick slants and have some kind of quick game, or an offense that can kind of lean on running the ball a little bit, it gives your offensive line a whole lot of confidence going forward, to where they don't have to like drop back so much. So if you really look at like the stats with McCarthy, I think there was like a game where he dropped back and threw the ball like 42 times. And
Right.
it's like, come on, man. Your offensive line is struggling, and you still got them dropping back. But that's just the ego, and the stubbornness of Kevin O'Connell of not, leaning on what he has, with his team. He just consider it like, I just want to run my plays, and I just want to run my offense. And that's just kind of some of the reasons why, like, I'm kind of off Kevin O'Connell going forward, because it's like, yeah, the big plays are great, but we don't need that right now. We need to win games. Like,
But
we need
okay,
to,
I'm gonna cut you off right there, because what if it's not O'Connell, but what if it's actually JJ making those decisions? Because when you got McCarthy, who was a young, remember he's still in his rookie form.
he a rookie. He a rookie.
He's still a rookie. So when you have a star caliber receiver like Jefferson, when you have him in your lineup, you're going to want to force feed him the ball because he's not getting the ball as much.
Right.
So when you call a play to say, hey, I'm gonna drop back, I'm gonna try to look for my number one receiver. He's getting double, triple team pretty much. I'm still gonna force feed him the ball. Don't that fall on the quarterback though?
Yeah, that falls on the quarterback in that decision making in that moment.
Right.
But
So when you have a quarterback that's making decisions making like that, he's not ready to actually, like a veteran, say I'm gonna check down or I'm gonna do something else, because I'm not gonna force feed my veteran, but I'm gonna force feed everybody else that's open or trying to make
mm,
a play. Because you have Aaron Jones in the backfield, you have CJ Ham can catch the ball, you have Hawkinson. If he's not blocking, he's actually running good routes.
yeah,
But when you have a young quarterback that's overthrowing them or underthrowing them because he got happy feet. You know what I mean? So it's like you got,
I think it's more to it than just that. And I think what we saw last week with Max Brosmer, it kind of solidified my theory of what's really going on with the inaccuracy and the overthrows and stuff like that. And I mean, I look at a lot of film. I'm starting to learn how to break down film, on the side, so I can be better going into the season. But when I'm looking at some of the, I'm not just calling. I think people got to understand there's a difference between play calling and play structure. And when I'm
right,
talking about
right,
play structure, I'm talking about, like, okay, you got a play structure to where you got three receivers. You got Naylor, you got Addison, and you got Jefferson, right? They're going out for passes. They're probably going out maybe 15, 20 yards deep, whatever, right? Double moves whatsoever. And then maybe you got Hawkinson and you got Oliver in there, but then you got them chipping. But there's nothing underneath for McCarthy to go through. Like, if you start looking back at the play structure, like some of those plays where he's getting sacked or he's throwing those picks, like, there's not a lot of places for him to go underneath, and that falls on O'Connell when I'm saying like play structure. You get what I'm saying? Like
right,
that.
right. And we talked about that before, right?
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like the structure of it, to where it's like, I'm not going to sit here and say McCarthy has been playing well and absolve him of any kind of guilt. What I am saying is that with the play structure that we have seen with McCarthy, some of the easy stuff is not there for him, and I think he's a little bit in his head to where he's thinking so much. And I think Kevin O'Connell is in the headset way too much. I mean, how many times we've seen since Kevin O'Connell's been here where delay of games because the play is coming in late, or
Oh, I
multiple
agree. I agree.
multiple false starts. And I think that when you're playing quarterback, you got to let that quarterback fill the game. You can't you can't dictate to where you want him to go with the ball before the plays even snap. Like I get that he's trying to coach in that moment, but sometimes you're coaching too much. You gotta let him play, bro. Gotta let him play.
And I agree with you on that aspect of it. But my thing is this, you brought up Max Brosman last week, and I talked to some of my guys on my job about this the other day. It's like when you got a rookie quarterback going into a hostile environment as far as in Seattle, and it's tough to play in Seattle as it is anyway.
Yeah.
And then you going against a team that's let's say it's the number one defense in the NFL, at least the top 5 defense in the NFL.
Top 5, yeah.
And so you're gonna expect him to make some mistakes.
Right.
And especially, like you brought up a good point the other day as far as they practice this, but it's different in game time situation.
They don't practice, bro. Like, they don't practice. They do a lot of walkthroughs.
I mean, and I agree because you got a lot of people hurt.
Yeah.
Just look what happened with Jefferson when he was practicing during training camp, pulled the hamstring. Right, he pulled the hamstring. So it's like when you have, like you said, they don't practice. When you go into a hostile environment, as far as like in Seattle, I don't think JJ could have done any better.
Me neither.
Because the fact his accuracy is horrible.
Right.
And like I tell people all the time, it's like his drive is there, the athleticism is there, but if you don't have accuracy to get the ball to your receivers and you're always running for your life, you can't do anything.
Bad.
Right. So it's hard to do stuff.
Yeah. And that was my thing too when I was trying to like explain to people on X's. It's like, yeah, I can see him getting better with certain aspects of calling the plays in the huddle, initiating the offense, doing the check at the line. Like I can see all that being a little bit better from what he, was doing when he first started. But if the accuracy is bad, all that really don't matter because you can't connect with the receivers. You can't get the ball to the receivers. And it's like, it makes the offense stagnant. It's just like, that's just something like, I feel like it ain't going to get better it ain't going to get better tomorrow. It ain't going to get better next week.
No.
That's just something like, I feel like the offseason, is where they're going to have to like, figure some things out. But when we're talking about like, when we talk about blame, it's like, we always throw out blame. But when we talk about like, hey, like we could have avoided the situation. I just think like, they said McCarthy was ready. Like that's what they were talking about. McCarthy was ready. He was doing this, he was doing that. And we saw the first game, he wasn't ready. Like that he had the jitters and like it wasn't it didn't look good.
But okay, here's the thing about that. And I don't like to make excuses for anybody, but you gotta remember Chicago, like the Chicago game, Monday night underneath the lights, primetime game.
Monday Night Football, yeah.
Monday Night Football. McCarthy's from Chicago, so he was playing from his family and friends and everything like that. So you're gonna have them kind of jitters and them nerves and all kind of stuff like that because you want to play well in front of your family. Yep. But again, when it goes back to my point before, when you have an offensive line that come in, the season started hurt it, you can't do nothing. And then and then the fourth quarter come around, you finally saw him starting to wake up a little bit in the fourth quarter. So then we had promises like, hey, this kid got something. He looked what he did in the fourth quarter. Then after that, couple of games after that, he started to fall off, and then he got hurt. So we never saw him. Right. So we never saw him at his full potential until the Detroit game. And then everybody counted this out. Nobody said we were going to win against Detroit. It's going to be almost a 30-point blowout. And look what happened. He showed everybody he can play. Yeah. And then after that, he got too big for his britches, and reality hit him. He fell off. Got hurt again, and then we had to deal with Max Brosman with that blowout against Seattle. Now he's back against the lineup with Washington. So,
but I feel something is there with him. Like
I agree.
Something is there. I just
he's just not putting it together yet.
Yeah, he's not putting it together yet. And I keep saying this over and over and over again. Like when you got young quarterbacks, you can't skip year one. This is year one technically. Like you got to throw out last year. Like he might have been on the roster. He might have been able to learn the plays and do other stuff. But what counts is when the bullets are flying and you actually out there playing. Like this is year one, and this is what we're seeing. And it's just unfortunate that hey, it is what it is. But I think structure too. Like you got people talking about, oh man, what about the veterans? And how they feel and stuff like that. And I'm not even gonna say this is a hot take, but this is how I look at it. I know damn well quarterbacks drive this league. If you develop a quarterback to be a consistent player in this league, you can win games, you can go to the playoff consistently. Outside of JJ McCarthy, if anybody, I'm saying anybody on this roster has a problem with the patience and the development of JJ McCarthy, I'm willing to trade him because I don't see it to the point of being like, yeah, you might have two top tier receivers, that's great, but they don't mean nothing if your quarterback sucks. Like they're not getting the ball, So if they start making a gripe, and it's like I love Jefferson, I love Addison, but I just look at it like other teams, like they got their perennial, Hall of Fame or Pro Bowl quarterbacks. We don't. We trying to build that. And if guys can't be patient with that, it's kind of like, I don't want to be an asshole and be like, hey, see you later. But it's kind of like we got to understand, like, that's the reason why we in the situation that we in, because we didn't really like take the step back to develop young quarterbacks. We was always trying to pop up and win now,
Right.
And it's like you can't do that forever.
I mean, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you because the fact that a lot of the veterans we got now won't be on the team next year.
Yeah, true.
So you talking about, and I can actually go as far as and name them pretty much. It's like Hawkinson is gonna be gone. Harrison Smith is gonna be gone because he's pretty much gonna retire.
He already let
Thielen go. He's on the Steelers right now.
Yep.
They talking about not renewing Addison's contract because
I think Addison's staying. I think he's gonna stay.
Me personally, I think he's staying as well. But with Aaron Jones could be gone next year.
He should have been gone last year.
Yeah, that's true. But it's just like I said, it's going to be a lot of these veterans is going to be gone, and so they pretty much going to be starting over with no salary cap. So
I mean, they already like 35 mil over the cap, but they got 14 mil they can roll over, so that's like 24. But the cap can always be manipulated. It can
always be adjusted, right?
It can always
that part. I think that part can always be adjusted as far as the salary cap, but at the same time, it's like a lot of these veterans that's making a lot of money, that's not going to be there next year.
Yeah, and I just feel like
no, go ahead.
And I just feel like too, though, like the way they built this roster, like with not being able to develop young talent is hurting them right now because they're paying for expensive aging veterans, when they shouldn't have had to. Like, look at the cornerback room, right? Like, you only have two playable cornerbacks. You got Brian Murphy Jr. and you got Isaiah Rodgers. There's nobody else. You get what I'm saying? Like there's nobody. I get
what you're saying.
And I just hear, I just hear the talk about Kwesi and his bad drafts, and I'm just like, yeah, but the coaches don't even give these kids a chance to play. They just want to replace them with veterans, man.
I mean, I'm gonna say this. It's the reason why they want to replace them with veterans is because Kwesi don't know how to draft.
Can't say that just yet, man.
I can, because look at the draft he had since he's been in office. Look at the draft picks that he had are no longer gone.
I blame that on development coaching, man, for real.
Coaching has a lot to do with it, but at the same time, it's like if you don't bring the right people in that's willing to actually do the job.
Yeah, and these coaches don't have patience. Okay, you remember when the Vikings had 3 first-round draft picks? They drafted Xavier Rhodes, they drafted Sharif Floyd, and then the other guy what's his name? Cordell Patterson, right? Cordell Patterson, right? When Xavier Rhodes basically was playing his first season under Leslie Frazier, right? He was trash. He was a penalty machine, right?
Right.
Couldn't just couldn't get it done. Zimmer comes in the next couple of years. He still has a couple of problems going forward, but Zimmer kept playing him. And then next thing you know, he hits it, and he's considered at that time as Rose closed, like locking everybody. Locking everybody up. Like, I'm not saying like Andrew Booth would have turned into Xavier Rhodes or stuff like that. I'm just saying like the patience with the younger players, it's like, come on now, like you with corners, you gotta let them get burnt. You gotta let them go out there and play. Like you can't have them out there and not play. And I understand it. That's the thing where I was talking about like the win now situation. Like if you got a corner that's struggling and you want him to develop, you might not play him because he don't know a couple of things. So he gonna give up a couple of plays, a touchdown here and there. So you can't play him. So you know what happens? He can't develop. Look.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you on like I said, I agree with you to a certain point of it because yeah, you gotta let them play it, but how far can you let them play though?
I
Because
just
like you
think
say, if you got a cornerback that keep getting burnt, they're gonna keep looking his way. All right, but I gotta take you out because you doing no good for me on the field because of the fact that you every time you on the field, they zooming past and you catching 60-yard, 30-yard passes,
that's true.
and
That's true.
and for a fact that you can't and you getting penalties, getting hold of because you keep getting burnt.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
like
true.
I
Only
can't I
way he
can't
gonna,
put you on the field because you putting our defense in a bad situation because you can't do your job right.
okay,
So
so
if you can't do your job right, then I got to find somebody else that can do your job right.
we talk about the corner. So no Sean Wright, Pro Bowler this
And
year.
like I said, that situation pissed me off because Quasi
Quasi,
dropped the ball.
no,
Quasi dropped the ball on that one because of the fact that you had this gem, you had this diamond in your backfield. You let him go because for whatever reason, and now he's shining on your rival
how was
as
that on
far as with the
Quasi?
Bears because Quasi the one that actually brought him up to the team, and then Quasi let him go. So
But
when
Brian
Quasi
Flores
let him go,
wasn't
so
playing
like
him.
I said, yeah,
That's
Brian
called
Flores wasn't playing him, but at the same
he had
time,
him
it's
on
like,
threes. He had
but
on.
if you ain't showing nothing in practice, if you ain't showing the effort in practice, you be like, okay, I'm just gonna get a paycheck. All right, bro, it's time for you to go.
I look at it like this though, right? Quasi, let's say hypothetically speaking, Quasi made a mistake in drafting Andrew Booth. Always injured, couldn't get on the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
You bring in a guy that was a third round pick, and you say, hey, Flores, here's another guy that you replace Booth, whatever, figure it out. Flores never puts him on the field, basically delegates him to special teams. So when it's time to evaluate, talent or what's being there, Flores is the one saying like, well, I can't play this guy, so yeah, we can move on from. I don't think that's crazy going to these position coaches or these coordinators saying I'm taking this guy off the roster. I think these position coaches are saying like, well, I'm not playing him, so I'm not really going to have a need to him. Look at Mekhi Blackman. You want to tell me Mekhi Blackman was worse than Jeff Okudah doing the offseason? And they
No,
let him go too. Like
and I
that's
agree. I agree. They need to. And like I said, my thing is with Flores. I think Flores knows what he's doing as far as with his defense. You got to remember, even with the offensive struggle, they're still like fourth against the pass or something like that. So, and then they still top 10 as far as against the pass, as far as pass rush. So
yeah, their defense is okay.
right. I mean, their defense is still keeping them in games though. That's the
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
though, because if you go look at that
Solid.
Seattle game like you did,
Yeah.
you got you get the number one receiver as far as JSN, and you got Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold didn't have a great game at all.
He was
He
pedestrian.
may have got the dub, but he didn't do anything
Yeah.
special to say I got my revenge against my team
Right.
because their defense was locking him up the whole time.
Yeah.
As far as forcing him doing bad passes, and JSN wasn't effective because I got him on my fantasy. He ain't do nothing as far as he didn't do nothing because the defense was locking him down.
Yeah.
So it was a defensive battle the whole game until the fourth quarter.
Yeah. And
late fourth quarter when they finally gave up a touchdown.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it took 3.5 quarters for them to do something because the defense was locking him down in
Yeah.
Seattle. So,
I get
like I
that.
said, you got an offensive with Seattle who's at least a top 5 offense.
I get that, but what I'm saying is like when it comes to the development of the younger players on this roster, I'm just talking about both sides of the ball not having the patience for guys to develop. Now, if we talk about the offensive side of the ball, like look at the players that's brought in from other teams from the offense, right? And their key positions that's brought in, and you can see the trend. Aaron Jones, right? Where did he come from? Green Bay. That's Matt LaFleur, right? You got Jordan Mason. He was brought in this season. That's Kyle Shanahan, right? Like you got Sam Darnold was brought in last year. That's Kyle Shanahan. So what I'm looking at when I'm seeing all these players being brought in from similar, coaching schemes or whatever, that's letting me know that Kevin O'Connell cannot translate his offense to younger players, to where he wants to bring in players from other teams that have the same structure, to where it makes it easier for him. Because if you look at the young players on the roster, there's no development outside of the defensive tackles and the wide receivers. There's no development whatsoever.
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I would say even with Donovan Jackson was developed, because even at the starting guard, he still did pretty well until he got hurt.
But that's the catch-22, right? Because when we talk about, not me, because I don't have a problem with Chris Cooper like that. I think Chris Cooper Chris Cooper's been doing a solid job. Because if you got a guy like Blake Brandel that's playing every position on the offensive line, that's somebody doing a good job in coaching. I mean, Donovan Jackson is, I'm not gonna say exception to the rule, but Donovan Jackson is like, okay, cool. That's one player outside of the many other position groups that's not being developed. And like, think about it though, right? Like I said, the receivers and the defensive tackles. Outside of that, where's the young player development?
Do we even have any young player development outside of that?
That's a problem. That's what I'm saying. It comes on to the coaching, man. Like where's the young player development? Like you had Ed Ingram, you got rid of him.
Yeah, because you got rid of Ingram because Ingram was giving them too many sacks.
Yeah,
sometimes it takes a good change of scenery to make you say like, okay, you know what? I messed up this place. I can't mess up here because my lifespan is very short as an offensive lineman. People gonna look at what I did the last time, so I'm like, I gotta do good over here, and might give me some more money down the road somewhere else.
I think you wasted money with that. I think Kevin O'Connell looked at the situation of, he wanted to fix his interior offensive line, so they wanted to spend money on it, but he didn't want to change his play structure to help the offensive lineman at that point. Because you got Ezra Cleveland playing well, you got Bradbury playing well, and you got Ingram playing well. Like, to me, that's not a coincidence, man. It's really not, because how come Will Fries, who before he was hurt last year was a pretty good offensive guard, but now he's like at the bottom of the pack, when it's pro PFF rated when it comes to guards. It's like, come on now. Like,
you know why it's like that? Because I'm gonna answer your question. All those guys that went to those teams, you know what they do first? They run the ball first. They're pretty much their run team. As far as Houston is a run team, Indianapolis is a run team. Who else? What you said? It's another team that's like they run the ball first because they don't have the quarterback. They don't have the quarterback to actually say, okay, we're going to throw the ball this way, this how many times. With KOC and with his system, he likes to mix it up as far as to say, okay, you know what, we're going to run the ball this game, or we're going to pass it more this game. We're going to see what actually JJ can do, because he's heard the rumors, he's heard the naysayers say JJ doesn't have an arm. JJ can't throw the ball past 20 yards of field and like that. So we're like, all right, let's see what this quarterback can actually do as far as let's get him out there to throw the ball to our best receivers, and let's force feed everything else like that. And it's making a problem. So a lot of those guys we got now are not meant for pass blocking. Other than Donovan Jackson, that's not meant for pass blocking because he came from Ohio State. They did a lot of passing in Ohio State, so he knows how to pass block. Derek Saw know how to pass block, but he can't stay on the field because he's always hurt. O'Neal is a great left tackle, but he's a great run blocker.
Yeah,
right. But he's always banged up. So my thing is, it's like you can't make JJ a passing quarterback when you don't have a pass blocking offensive line.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. It comes down to quarterback malpractice. Like, you can't put a square peg in a round hole. You can't do that. Like you shouldn't
force it.
You can force it, and that's what we see right now.
You can force it, but it ain't gonna go. Because my thing is that, but that's the problem with JJ. Is like he's forcing his issues as far as he's forcing it down the field instead of actually checking it down the field or having that mindset. Coach, I understand that you called this play, but I'm gonna check out of this and call a run play because I'm seeing someone different on the field.
Yeah, do you he has that ability to do that now, considering he's only in
No,
the season?
no, I don't think he still had that mindset to actually do that,
Yeah.
because if it was a veteran quarterback, they a veteran be like, okay, I'm gonna look at the line, let's see what they bring it. All right, check, 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 change
Yep.
the play, do a run play, and even though it's called for a pass, that's what a veteran quarterback will come into play.
Yep. That's what they.
And right, and so with JJ is not there yet. I mean, give him talk about maybe a year or two so we can understand the offense and understand like the read of a defense to say, hey, this person's about to blitz here, this person's about to blitz here. I'm not gonna
Right.
stick with this play call because that's what my problem is. I'm sticking with this play, and everybody knows what I'm going to do because, like you said before, Kevin O'Connor doesn't change his offense. So from last year, we won 14 game season. A lot of these defenses are realizing, oh, he's doing the same formation he did last year. All right, we know we know what he's about to do. Let's send the house, and then the offensive line can't block because they're not healthy.
Yeah.
So
And
let's go ahead and send that. Let's send
it leads to disaster. Yeah. So honestly, T, like with all that being said, the bad draft picks, to me, it's a combination of everything. Bad draft
Right.
pick, bad coaching, bad play structure, players not being ready, players being forced back early from injury, then getting hurt again. Older veterans being on this roster and they starting to sour. Like,
Right.
what do you think like the Vikings could do going forward? And we ain't really talking about like what can happen with the next 5 games because we don't know. Like all I want to do is see some kind of progression, with McCarthy. Like, what do you think should be done in the offseason?
I think when the offseason is going to be, I think it should be a wake up call as far as what I want them to do is reevaluate everybody's position. You know what I mean? If you feel like this person is helping us out, bring him forward.
Why?
If you feel like, you know what I mean? If you feel like this person is holding us back, let them go.
Okay.
And if it's going to hurt some fans to say like, oh, why did they trade this person? Why did they let this person go? Because I was hurt when they let go Phillips. And I was like, why would you let go of Phillips? Because Phillips was the backbone of that defense.
Yeah, yeah.
And, we had a lot of success with him in the lineup last year. But I get the business aspect of it as far as to save money, all this other stuff, salary cap wise.
The development from the other guys behind them were cool.
Right.
He kind of became expendable. Yeah, I get that.
Right. And what I want them to do is just focus on rebuilding. You know what I mean? Focus on getting back to basics, getting back to what brought them back to the 14-win season, last season.
Right.
Don't focus on the negativity as far as with JJ's, not experienced enough, or coach has been on the hot seat, the GM been on the hot seat. Go back to basics. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna, and I tell people in my job, it's like they get on me all the time because I'm pretty much the only Viking fan there. I'm in Oklahoma, so it's like everybody was like they're a Cowboy fan or Chiefs fan or whatever. I'm the only one outside bleeding purple and gold. So it's like they looking at me like, oh, what's going on with your team? I said, dude, this is a learning experience. That's all it is.
Yeah. That's how you got to take it sometimes. And this is just that season. Like, do you see Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi being back next season, or do you think they should?
I see them being back. I see them being back next season, but also see if things doesn't change, I can see the mid-season change also.
Oh, mid-season.
Mid-season change, right? Because I think the Wills can actually say, we're gonna let you guys, we had a bad season this year. This is almost a reminder of the 2020 season. So it's like, like I said, my thing is, my problem is with this team is they're inconsistent.
Yeah.
1 year they bad, 1 year they good. 1 year they bad, 1 year they good. So it's like,
why though, right? Right?
I'm always gonna be the ride. I'm branded in mine. I got a tattoo of a Viking teddy bear on me, so I'm always gonna be a Viking fan.
But you know why they good one season and bad another though, right?
You said what now?
I said, why they good one season and bad the other, right? Why they So if you look at it, started with Mike Zimmer, right?
Right.
Every time the Vikings had like a 3rd or 4th place schedule, they would make the playoffs that year. And then they would win, right? So when you win, they would either finish in the division 1st or 2nd. So the next season they would have to play a 2nd place or 1st place schedule, right?
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, we are in the season where we have to play a first and second team schedule, right?
Right.
And
Right.
we only got four wins, during the season. It's like, and this is something that I get upset about because I like tell people like, yo, man, like if we want this team to be a perennial playoff team, we gotta. It shouldn't matter if where we finish, or what the schedule is placed at. We just got to go out there and play, basically. Like win games, and that's why I give like the Kansas City Chiefs and Baltimore Ravens and Buffalo Bills, the Philadelphia Eagles, because they've been playing a first or second place schedule like the past 5 seasons, and it seems like the Vikings when they got to play it, they only win like 4 games or less than that. Like come on, man, you gotta be better than that.
I agree with you on that because I think going into next year, I heard somebody say that Vikings going to be playing a last place schedule team
Yep,
pretty
four
much.
play
So
schedules.
because I think there's something we got Tennessee and the Giants back on the roster.
Yep,
Um, Somebody else, we still got our divisions or something like that. But it's
yep.
just the fact that we still and I think I don't know. It's just with the NFL being the way it is, it's so unpredictable. Like nobody expect the Bears to be where they are right now, and you got the Patriots being at the top again because they had the last place schedule.
Coaching too.
Uh, I give 30% of that to coaching,
I
but
mean,
I get the rest of that to scheduling wise because if you
schedule,
look at all their wins, they ain't really face a team that's above 500.
they beat Buffalo.
Anybody can beat Buffalo right now. Anybody can beat Buffalo right now. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose to the Bengals tomorrow. So
And they they looking bad, man. But Buffalo done got figured out. But yeah, I just feel like how I look at it, I'm leaning more toward first last week I was fire everybody. Everybody gotta go. But now I'm like leaning a little bit closer to on Quasi side. Who's helping you with the draft?
see,
Who's
now, welcome to my side of my vision because me and you talked about this on X. It's like the GM has to go because remember, Quasi wasn't a GM before he got to us.
nah, he
Quasi was an
wasn't.
assistant. He
But
didn't
I
know
like
anything about
Quasi,
being.
like I
And
like
I
Quasi.
like him too. I like him too. But my thing is that he's not an experienced GM to come in and make big
Football
plays or
move.
make big calls and make football moves.
Yeah.
They're like, why would you trade a draft pick within our division to help them out? And that pick could have went toward us, and we got Lewis Seen out of that deal. Like, come on now.
They told him. You know what? I'm gonna be real with you, man. I think Lewis Seen would have been straight if they'd let him play. I'm gonna always say that, man. He would have been straight because it's like
he was a hit and miss.
I think he would have been straight, man. It's just the fact that what messed it up with Lewis Seen, in my opinion, was Harrison Smith came back another season. You had the emergence of
Metellus.
Cam Bynum. Not really Metellus, because Metellus was playing the rover, X role. So he really couldn't get in the field. I mean, just his body type of. I was looking at him in college, man. When he played with Georgia, I'm sitting there looking like, okay, this dude can actually play. If you can get him down in the box, the position that everybody else is playing, he couldn't get on the field to play it. And then it's kind of similar to McCarthy right now, to where he got hurt, couldn't play, broke his leg, right, and
I agree,
never came back. I just feel like, and then now people are like, well, why he can't make it on other teams? When you already behind the 8 ball, it's hard for you to go to another team and beat out everybody else behind them too when you already behind. I mean,
right. Okay, so let me ask you this: the whole time Quasi been there, what was, in your opinion, was his best draft pick he's ever done, and what was his worst draft pick he's ever done?
I say his best draft pick is Jordan Addison.
Okay.
Jordan Addison. The worst draft. Nope, I'm not gonna even say that. Okay. Jordan Addison is one A, and Will Reichert is 1B. Because the kicker is one of the best kickers in the league. And being a Viking fan, we always have horrible kickers. That they good, and then they bad. So So I will say them
he's been right now being consistent. So
he's been consistent, right? So Addison and Reichert by far the first draft, his best draft picks. His worst draft picks, the worst ones. Kobe King is one I didn't understand because I felt like you already had you had multiple smaller linebackers. You already had Brian Oswald Brian Oswald might be in consideration for that because I never liked him because he's a smaller linebacker. Trying to think, it has to be something like that, like either Oswald or Kobe King. I mean, if we talk about
so do you think this draft is going to solidify him being there going forward, or do you think
if he doesn't hit on three players this draft, then it's going to be a problem because he has the picks to do it.
Right. How many picks do they have this year? They have what? Maybe 11 or 7?
It's 10. It's 7 to 10 as of right now. It'll be 10 depending on what's going to be with all the compensatory picks.
Right.
But yeah, he can hit like, okay. If I just look at it like a little bit differently, like from a different perspective. So with the 2022 draft, you was drafting players, especially on defense, for the scheme of Donatello, right? And I always tell people that, like, if you say Donatello sucks, but then Kwesi was leaning on him to say, hey, what do you need on defense? What should we draft? Okay, like he drafted the players that he wanted, but he sucked. Like, whatever. Then you bring Flores in, and Flores really didn't fit his scheme or what he wanted to do. So those two guys, multiple guys were just lost. You get what I'm saying? Like, they're just lost in translation because it's like they can't get on the field.
And I agree with you on that. But it's the reason why they can't get on the field because they suck in practice.
But what are they doing in practice? Because they suck. I just look at it like this though, T. Like, when we talk about it, like I'm not a Brian Flores guy. Like, a lot of people know that. Like, I'm not trying to go on to that tangent of me not liking Brian Flores or whatever in his scheme. I'm a big Zimmer guy. I'm a big 4-3 guy. Defensive ends, hands in the dirt. I don't like all that cutesy shit. Like, let's just play football and beat the guy in front of you. Like, I don't like all that scheming stuff and trying to go around and no. The guys in front of you, beat him, get to the quarterback. So I just feel like Brian Flores and Kevin O'Connell, they're really smart, and it's to their detriment to where, like, they want players that can help scheme a system. They don't necessarily have players that can just beat people one-on-one, like around the roster. And it's pretty much based upon scheme. And I think sometimes when you take away the reaction of the players to actually, read and react, it diminishes them a little bit. Like, I don't like.
I'm gonna say this. I think they do have a few guys that can actually beat you one-on-one. Dallas Turner can do it one-on-one because he did it in Alabama.
That's a crazy draft pick too. So that's
a crazy draft pick. Yeah. And then you got Jonathan Bernard can do it also.
I think we trade Bernard at the end of the season.
You think so?
I would.
No, because he's our best pass rusher we got at the moment.
Is he gonna be better than Dallas Turner next year?
If Dallas Turner gets the opportunity, if they move Dallas Turner to the other side and move Ginkle to like an outside linebacker, I think that'd be a better spot for him. Because he's competing with Bernard on that right side.
Yeah, what I would do is I would move Bernard. I would trade Bernard and put Dallas Turner right there in Bernard's spot where Dallas Turner is gonna be playing all 3 downs. But he ain't never coming off the field. And whatever you get you a second pick or a 3rd round pick, and you go from there. I mean, Ginkle's contract is not that big. I just feel like I want the young players to have the opportunity to go out there and play, because I don't want the situation to be they start getting the opportunity to play full time and now you got to pay them. It's like now you got to make a decision if you pick up that 5th year option or not. I mean, Grenard's kind of in the way of Dallas Turner right now. Like, if Dallas Turner is playing this good for the rest of these 5 games, I mean, he's one of the top sack leaders on this team, and he's up there in pressures already, and he's been playing.
I'm gonna say this. And I agree with you to a part. To a part where if Dallas trying to get the opportunity, he's a diamond in the rough. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But my thing is, what do you do with Bernard? I mean, you said yourself you want to, trade him.
I trade him.
But if he's also producing as well, like I said, my thing is this: what I would do is I would move Dallas to the right side and then Bernard to the left, and you still get your defensive tackles in the middle as far as raising hell.
So who
But
you
if you
got in
have,
the middle? And where you putting Gink? You
I,
putting
I
Gink
leave,
in the, you putting Gink in the
I,
middle with Cashman?
I'm putting, yeah,
I can see that. I can
I'm
see
putting,
that.
I'm putting, I'm putting Geek on the outside of Cashman because if you got Dallas Turner and Geek on the both same side,
Yeah.
you
How about
got
you
two
put Dallas in the
fast. You said what now?
How about you put Dallas in the middle?
No, I put Dallas on the outside as far as on the outside end, and then
Okay.
where Gink is at
Yeah.
because don't get me wrong, Gink is a hell of a good player, but Dallas is a lot younger than Gink, and he's a lot faster than Gink. So I'll move Gink to the outside linebacker, outside with what's his name is. Then you got Gink and Pace on the same side, as
Pace is
far as with
gone. Pace is
speed.
ass, bro. Pace is ass, bro. Pace gotta go. He
Ah,
won't be back next year, man.
you, you, you,
That's
you, you think Pace is gone?
yeah. He ain't even playing no more. He's a special teamer now.
He's a special teamer because he's been hurt.
No, he
He's
ain't
trying
been
to.
playing. He been getting his ass ran over for the past 2 seasons, and now they can't. He's not playable. He's too small. He like the thing with Dallas, Gink, Cashman, and the other linebackers inside or outside. They don't have to rely on trying to maneuver over a guy or go around a guy. They can kind of go through a guy. Like
Right, they
Pace,
can go through a guy. Right,
Pace
right.
can't do that, and he can get swallowed up by guards or tackles, and sometimes even big tight ends. He have a hard time with. So I
And
think
I agree. I agree. After seeing him play a couple games, I didn't see the hype behind him in the first place. I mean,
I
yeah,
never.
he was an undrafted. He was an
Yeah,
undrafted guy, and in my opinion, there was a reason why he was undrafted
because he was too
because
small.
he was too small. So when
Yeah.
he got the opportunity, he made the best of himself. But that whole I got a big head, I'm
I'm
starting and
I'm a starter now. Yeah,
right, I'm
like
a starter now.
yeah.
That whole big head can't thing, start smelling
Mhm.
his breath and stuff like that. So it's like, hey, I can go ahead and start doing it, and then all of a sudden realization come in, I can't do it. So like, now I got to get bumped down to special teams.
Yeah, and my man Lefty just said Pace ain't playing because Eric Wilson is miles better than him. Yeah, like
Oh yeah, one
yeah,
thousand
we
percent.
agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah, 1,000%. There's
yeah, we
no
agree with
doubt
that.
about that.
I'm just saying, like, if it came down to where I have to keep trying to figure out how to find ways for Dallas to get on the field, and he's a younger player. I think he's only like 22.
22, yeah.
I might just move Gennard and say I ain't got to make that decision no more. I can move Gennard, get maybe a third or fourth round pick, draft a corner for depth, and that's where we go from there. And now I ain't got to worry about. I know you lose your depth on the outside or as your pass rushers. I get that, but I'm just saying like I want these young players to develop. I want these young players that's on this roster to have any and every opportunity to go out there and succeed. And when we was talking about the other draft, like, yeah, this 26 draft is gonna be big for Quasi. Like, if he's still in that role, like, I'm
I
not
think
like,
he's still going to be in that role. I think he's still going to be in that role. I think the Wolves is going to be like, okay, we're going to give you one more chance to do something to make this team a turnaround
yeah,
because your job is on the line.
yeah,
And just like I said before, he really wasn't a true GM. He was an assistant.
yeah.
So him being in this role,
For the
it's been a
first
lot
time,
of it's been yeah for the first time. It's
it's
like
trial
this
and
is a
error.
learning experience,
Yeah,
right?
it's been trial and error. I think, but
So and
so
like I said, my thing is I'm gonna ask you this: who do you want to see them bring in from a free agency standpoint that you think it would help this team better?
let me bring up the free agents real quick. Hold on, let me get the screen going. Let me look at it. Let me look at it real quick. Let me look at it real quick. I think over the cap they got it. I mean,
And be realistically, who do you think would actually help this team as far as with
I
our
mean,
budget
we ain't really got the money like that
right now?
right now. Yeah, until they start moving stuff around. But let
Because
me see.
I agree with you with the whole Aaron Jones. I think they just brought him back for a trial and error, see what he can do.
Yeah, See what
But
they have.
But I think Jordan Mason is the future of the running back, and if they go get old boy from Notre Dame, then they locked up
Yeah,
for the running back position. So I want to know in your mind, who would you think would be a great help on the free agency side on this of this team?
let me see. Let me see. Free agency. All right, bring it up. Bring it up. Oh, okay. Yeah, over the cap be having a lot of stuff going on too. All right.
Right.
2026. All right. So who who they got? You got they say that the first guy on the list is Trey Hinkerson. We don't need that. Debo
Right.
Samuel, we don't need that. Mike Evans, we don't need that. Khalil Mack, we don't need that. Christian Kirk, no. Travis Kelsey, no. Um, Jonah Williams, no. That's a. I mean, I would probably mess around and bring in somebody like that, like Jonah Williams as an offensive tackle, just to help out
Mm-hmm.
with some, with depth, down the
That right.
line. Daniel Jones, David Njoku, Aaron Rodgers, Joey Bosa. I mean, let me just look at the positions. Let's see who they got at safety, because that's something they're gonna have to bring in. Um,
You got to bring in for somebody for corner.
yeah, they got to bring in corner. The secondary is all over the place, man. Like secondary is terrible for real. All right, Darius Slay, Jamel Dean,
We can
Meek
go ahead and
Roberts.
count Darius Slay out because he already
Yeah,
talking about he didn't take the job for Buffalo. He told me he was going to retire. So
hey, you got Shaq Griffin out there. You got Greg Newsom the second. Okay, he's still fairly young. I mean, I can see us doing that. That was the corner over there in uh in
Cleveland.
Cleveland. Yeah, he's over there in Cleveland. I can do a Greg Newsom because they don't have him on under contract after he got traded to the Jaguars, so he'll probably be
Mm-hmm.
available. Like, I would do that first. That would be probably a corner will be my first move, and of bringing somebody in free agency. Other than that, like it would just be just role player type depth pieces at that point, you know. Like, but we need a corner. I don't think Isaiah Rodgers should be playing that much. So let's see who linebackers. Levante David, no. Bobby Wagner, no. Uh, yeah, I think you got to draft a linebacker and start developing them. Alex Anzalone, he's 32 years old now. No, like they gotta find a way to get younger with that. I would just bring Eric Wilson back and draft a linebacker too.
Right. Right.
So what do you think is what was Quasi's best move as a GM outside of the draft? Best move in
Huh,
general.
his best move is giving Jefferson an extension.
You think so?
Yeah.
I, I think his best move was trading for Cam Robinson last year. That's what that's what made me say,
At that time, yes, because we did needed
yeah,
help
we
because
yeah,
Darisaw
we
went
need
down for the
help.
year.
Arizona's down for a year, and I think if we don't get trade, even though Cam wasn't great, he was solid at that spot for the rest of the season. I mean, I think if we don't have Cam, we probably don't have 14 wins. Like it that's probably the best move for me because he went out there and said, okay, who's backing up Darisaw? Oh, that don't look good. Let me go out there and get a starting caliber guard. I mean, tackle, and let's see what happens. And that's probably the best move for me because that was something that was needed, and he didn't have to do that. He could have just stayed pat.
Yeah, that's true. But like I said, I'm still gonna fall back on him giving Jefferson that extension because that's been long overdue. You know,
Yeah,
you got the number one receiver in the NFL putting up big plays, yards, especially at his age.
yeah,
I think giving Jefferson that money and locking him in for so many years,
yeah.
that was his best move.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that.
Because I mean, think about it. Because you got a talented receiver like that, putting up yards, putting up breaking records and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's coming into pretty much his final year of his contract of his rookie
Mhm.
deal. You gotta put him. You gotta lock him in long term because if you don't, he's gonna want out and he's gonna want to go somewhere else. And you know how this league is. Someone like that kind of caliber, hey. You want to go somewhere else? All right, we throw it, back the truck up for you.
Yep. You know what, too, though, what I think the Vikings should do. This is something I think they should do. It. They should go out there and get a veteran backup quarterback.
I
Solidify,
agree. I agree 1,000%. I agree
solidify that,
1,000%.
solidify that for the next couple. I'm not talking about bringing in somebody on a 1-year deal. I'm talking about bringing somebody in on a 2-3 year deal. So here's a
So
name.
okay, so let's go ahead and say Aaron Rodgers is out that equation because I think
I'm not.
even if
I'm not.
he's done right, even if he put Rodgers in, there, I think he's done after this year because he got too many
Yeah.
injuries and all that stuff like that.
Yep.
I do like Mac Jones, but I don't know if the 49ers would give up Mac Jones, especially how Brock Purdy's been playing, because Brock Purdy's been playing like ass also.
True.
And I think Lefty said something about Mariota, but I don't know. I don't trust Mariota too
Jimmy
much.
Garoppolo's out there. Mitchell Trubisky, Trey Lance, Josh Johnson, Case Keenum, Carson Wentz will be out there. Malik Willis, Kyle Allen, Teddy Bridgewater, no. Gardner Minshew, Easton Stick, Jake Browning. I think one of the guys that I probably would go after. I'm good on Rodgers and Flacco. I don't need these old
Yeah,
guys.
I don't need. Yeah, it's.
I'm good on them. I mean,
I
you
mean,
got.
going with you, me personally, I would take a chance with Daniel Jones because look
I,
what he's done with Indianapolis because
yeah, but he
he
ain't
turned
gonna
that
come in.
franchise around.
He,
No, he ain't
he,
gonna come and be no backup. No,
he
I,
not
I
coming
can
in.
tell you right now. I can tell
No,
you right now. If they go get
I'm
Daniel
not.
Jones,
I don't want a guy starting over McCarthy though. I don't want a guy. I'm talking about to be a backup to McCarthy. I'm not looking for a veteran to be my starter. I'm looking for a veteran backup on this team. I would take Zach Wilson or Mariota straight up.
I mean,
Like
I like Mariota, but it's just
he's a little
he's
older
way
now,
too old. Yeah, way a lot older.
33 now. But I mean, I'll take. I just feel like you put yourself in the position, when you have a viable backup quarterback to where something happened with McCarthy again, then, he can play like 2-3 games and you ain't got to have this Max Brosmer, Carson Wentz fiasco over and over again. And then you already got Brosmer here. That's development. So,
Right.
yeah. Hey, Lefty, I'm cool with Mariota. Like, he can come in.
I like Mariota, but I just don't. Like I said,
Give him a
he
3-year
just seems a
deal.
little bit too old for me.
But you already have Brosmer, which is 25, something like that. So
Right, because you got JJ's what 22, Brooks 25,
yeah,
and
you bring
I like that. Right, and so my thing is go get another quarterback as far as they can push both of them.
Nah, I don't. I'm good. They're gonna push each other. I don't want no.
How?
They already got. Nah, I'm good. I don't want Kevin O'Connell to be, to be subject to say, well, I'm gonna go with the veteran now because the youngsters can't get it done. Nah, I don't want no excuse for him not for him to do that. We already got 2 young guys, on the roster. And you know what? You right, Lefty. Carson Wentz might be cool to just be coming back. Like, yeah, he especially going through camp if he's available. But the thing that I'm trying to say is that I want a backup quarterback that's going to be in the background and help him out. We already got Brosmer. We already got McCarthy. I'm not trying to give Kevin O'Connell no excuse to play the veteran. That's what he's going to do. He's going to be like, you had a bad play here. Let me throw in the veteran real quick. Like,
But you know what? Kevin O'Connell is not that type of quarterback though. If you out there struggling, he's gonna keep you out there.
he gonna let the wolves eat you up.
Right, he's gonna let you learn from your mistakes. Because I mean, case in point, look what Carson Wentz did when he was in. He was playing like ass. He left him in there, and they was like, "Well, why come JJ is not playing?" They said JJ look like on the sideline, like he's 100% ready to go. Well, why not put Rosemy in? Well, I got my veteran quarterback. They can in there struggling. He needs to bounce back out of it. So
I just want a backup that's going to be here for a long length of time. I don't. That's all I really want. If it's Wentz, Wilson, or anybody else, I just want them to be here for multiple seasons. I'm getting tired of the backup being a revolving door. Also, so do you think McCarthy is a starter next year?
Do I want him to be the starter next year, or do I think he's going to be the starter? Because that's two different. That's two different situations there.
Do you want him to be the starter?
If he can develop during the off season as far as his accuracy, yes. But if he come in with the same mindset that he's been, no.
I
Now,
think you.
granted, because I'm gonna say this now, we'll go be back as far as the week at the Chicago game. I forgot who they played at the Chicago game, but he didn't practice at all going into that week because it was a birth of his child.
And that's
So
and
he can't.
him.
So when he came back into the lineup that Saturday, because I think his child was born that Tuesday.
Yeah.
He didn't return. He didn't return to the team to that Friday. And with him not being in the rotation for getting the rest and stuff, that's when he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So when he got hurt, he was out for another 3 or 4 weeks, and then he came back against Detroit and killed it because he had more time and more rep and stuff.
Yeah, and I want to talk about what Lefty said right here. Hey, Lefty, you know what's crazy, man? It's like you got a lot of people out there that really want to give up on McCarthy right now, and I really feel like that too. Like, Kevin O'Connell is not going to give up on him as a
he's not going to give up on him
as of right now. But you got the media that's pushing the narrative that it has to be a veteran quarterback to come in here and fix the situation. I'm open, like. I say like this, like I don't know what the next 5 games gonna look like. I give McCarthy the whole offseason and pretty much like 5 games next year to see if he's actually like, kind of move the needle a little bit. Like I'm not giving up on no young quarterback as of right now. I feel like it's this is how I look at it though, T, and Lefty in the chat. Like you got people out there that's talking about trading for Kyler Murray or bringing in Mac Jones. This guy's like, when is this revolving door at quarterback in Minnesota going to stop? Like, when is it going to stop? You get what I'm saying? Like, it has to stop. Like 1 year. Like now you have the opportunity to develop a young quarterback. I know it's not, and this is a public service announcement to everyone. I know it doesn't look good right now. I know it doesn't. And I'm not saying, I'm not sugarcoating it, but you're going to have to be patient to see if this kid can actually figure it out. And if you don't figure out and you give up on them, you're doing the same thing that other franchises have done that for quarterbacks that you're trying to get. Think about that.
Right.
Like make it make sense though. Like you want to give up on your quarterback, but then you want to go get a quarterback that other teams have given up on. You should just keep your quarterback.
And I tell this that people at my job, it's like they were like, "Oh, how you feel about JJ McCarthy now? Because you had so much high hopes for him." I say, "He's still a rookie. This is consider his rookie year. He's going to make some mistakes. He's going to go through trials and tribulations, and he's going to go through pains. He's going to grow up a little bit because this is his first actual real season.
Yeah.
Now, if he come in next season and dominate, I'm going to sit back and laugh at everybody.
Yep.
Because like I said, I do want him to succeed in this offense. I do want him to make a name for himself, not for an injury-prone quarterback.
Right.
I want him to take this team to the next level as far as get past the NFC Championship game. Does he have the mindset? Does he have the drive? Does he have the potential to do it? Absolutely. But as fans, like you said before, we don't need to give up on him because we're into the now instead of looking for the future. So
Yep. So I feel that, man. I feel that. But it's getting late over here. I'm finna hit the gym in a little bit, man. Hey, T, you more than welcome to come on here anytime, man. Now you know how to do it.
I know I'm gonna get on my iPad now, so
now you know how to do it, man. And we, a couple of other guys, we jump on and go live, a couple of other times throughout the week or whatever. Me, I'm a little bit different because I'm on the West Coast. I'm in California, so my time is a little bit different. I'll be trying to find.
Where you at? Where you at in Cali though?
I'm in San Bernardino right now, but I grew up in LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so my time be a little bit different. I'll be a little bit late. I'm not sure if I'm going.
Yeah,
I know
you about a little 3 hours ahead of me. So
yeah, I know I'm going live probably with my boy Zoe directly after the game, and I'll drop the link for anybody to jump on after that. But thanks, man. Thank you for having me. I gotta get up out of here, man. So
hey, man, enjoy yourself.
All right, man. Let me get this stream out.